First and foremost, I would like to thank everyone for joining us today. My name is Joe Lara, and this presentation is brought to you by Select Circuits, a PCB manufacturer. Now, with no further ado, we'll move on to slide number 1. You'll notice that Gerber files are at the top of our list. These are generally provided by the engineer, but can also be commissioned out to a circuit board manufacturer like ourselves. Depending on complexity of the board, it can take either about a week to several months to complete Gerber files. After you've completed your Gerber files and have sent them over to a PCB manufacturer, we move on to material prep. Once the material's been prepped, it moves on to the etching process where unnecessary or unwanted copper is removed. From that point on, we move on to lamination. Now, lamination only applies to multiple layer boards, meaning 4 layers, 6 layers, 10 layers. PCBs usually move up in even numbers. The reason being is to avoid warpage. Odd numbers usually create warpage on either side. Once the boards have been laminated, they move on to the drilling process. This is where all the vias are formed. Once we're done drilling all the vias, we move on to the plating stage, and there are several different types of plating, all with pros and cons, which we'll review later on in the introduction. The next step in the process is the solder resist, or more commonly known solder mask stage. Solder mask is intended to constrain solder during the assembly process. Then we move on to the silk screening process, which is utilized in the assembly side to help identify component placement. And lastly, we have testing, which helps us find shorts and opens.